Welcome to day 31 of the New Way. We can learn much about Satan's modus operandus, or way of operating, by studying the temptations of Jesus. Mark really didn't tell us much, so I'm glad that Matthew and Luke recorded more details. The two detailed accounts list the second and third temptation in different order, but I don't think that is significant. Apparently, Jesus told his disciples about the temptations, and they later wrote it down. I don't think the order is important, or God would have led them to make the change. We looked at Mark's record yesterday. Today we'll study Matthew's account, and then later we'll look at Luke's account. I'll read Matthew 4, 1 through 4. Then Jesus was led by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. After fasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. The tempter came to him and said, "If you are the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread." Jesus answered, "It is written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." The first thing I want you to know about temptation is that Satan doesn't play fair. He attacks when we are weakest, sickest, hungriest, loneliest, most emotional, most stressed out, most fatigued, etc., etc., etc. He's not looking for a fair fight. He just intends to win. So he waits until Jesus is hungry, 40 days worth of hungry. He tempts Jesus to turn some stones into bread. What could possibly be wrong with that? I mean, he had the power to do it. He certainly had the need. But let me show you something that happened later. We'll take a sneak peek to the end of this section when the 40 days of temptations are complete. I'll read for you Matthew 4, verse 11. Then the devil left him, and angels came and attended him. This verse shows how God met Jesus' need. Now, can you answer the question, why not turn stones to bread? Matthew 4:11 says that after Satan left, the angels came and brought Jesus food and ministered to him. The temptation here is one Satan uses over and over again with us. He's tempting Jesus to look out for numero uno, because God obviously can't. Or maybe God obviously won't. That's a lie. Jesus certainly could have turned the stones to bread, but that was not God's will. God had apparently told Jesus that he would provide for him, and Jesus had to decide whether to trust him or not. There's the struggle. Satan often tells us to use our own self, our brains, our logic, or reasoning, and figure out what is best for us. We don't need God to guide us. We can figure this out. He gave us brains to use. But Jesus chose to trust God's plan. He stood up to Satan and said no. When you place your trust in yourself, it 100% of the time leads to trouble. Satan will tempt you to take care of number one. Make sure you get the biggest piece, the best for yourself. Make sure no one takes advantage of you. Fight for your rights and make a big stink until you get your own way. All of this is straight from the father of lies, Satan. Jesus says to relax and trust God to work it out. He will look out for your needs. You don't have to. This is contrary to everything that the world teaches you. It was a new way. It was radically different. It still is, but it is what Jesus taught. Remember that Satan's goal is to destroy you, destroy relationships, destroy your marriage, destroy your future. Don't fall for his lies. If you watch ads on TV or the computer, you'll hear one lie after another. You deserve this. You have a right to this. You need this. Look out for numero uno. No. Jesus taught that our goal is obedience to God's will, not glorification of ourselves. Watch out. We'll look at 2 more temptations tomorrow. Keep an eye out today for ways that you are tempted to serve yourself instead of God. In his service, Dale.